Over the past few years I planted quite a few trees up on our property, and I always put them in tree tubes and tried to mark them with a permanent marker. However, over time that marker faded and now I don't know what a lot of them are. So what I've been doing is I have some scrap pieces of soffit from our barn that I cut into strips about 1 inch wide, and it's just aluminum and it's easy to cut up, and then there you go. And then I purchased an embossing kit or a stamping kit. It's got all the letters and the numbers on it backwards, and you can use that to tap the steel and it puts an impression in it. I got this one at Harbor Freight. You can get them pretty much anywhere online. They're not that expensive. I think I paid $10 for this one. It is quite time consuming to stamp everything in, so what I did is I came up with a code. CA equals common apple, CP equals common plum, and then underneath it I put where I got them from, ID from the Idaho nursery and other nurseries where I order things, and then I always stamp the year on it. I seem to get a lot better results if I use a little piece of steel underneath. This is just some straight stock that I had in the garage left over. Just do a tap, and I don't know if that's going to show up on there or not, but I found that if I do one letter for all the ones I need, that seems to be the fastest, rather than trying to switch, because you always end up getting them backwards or upside down when you're not used to doing it. So once you got that letter set the right way, you can go through, and I'll put all my C's for the common apple, find my A, one thing I should mention before I get too far is you absolutely want to be wearing safety glasses. These are meant to hit, but you're still hitting steel on steel, and there's always a chance that it could end up coming back at you. Next I'll put the year. I got a 1/16. And this is just the code I came up with. If you have an easier code, write it down. You know, number 1 for apples, number 2 for pears, number 3's for whatever, and you can come up with your own code to use the least amount of stamping possible. If you want to put the 6 on, and then I got these at the Idaho nursery, so I'll go ahead and mark them with an ID at the bottom. What works pretty good is to just take a nail and pop a little hole in them. And then you got a nice hole right in there. It took me about 20 minutes from start to finish. I made 30 of them, 10 each of 3 different kinds, and I just hook them together so they don't get separated, and I'm ready to plant this spring.